Afternoon, Patriots. This is the American Vision, and I'm your host, Bill Muckler. And today I'm really excited to have a brother Marine with me, and his name is Peace Alexander Foxx Jr., and he's coming to us from Virginia, I believe, and I'm on the Space Coast in Cocoa, Florida. And I'm really excited to have Peace with me because he's written a book, and it's really a great book called Twice a Warrior, and he wrote this on his experience based on the fact that he is twice a warrior. So Peace, welcome to the show, and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you entered into the Marine Corps and where you served.
Okay. Thank you for having me, by the way, and I appreciate the opportunity to share with others this story. Basically, I had to join the military because I had lived on the street for a while, and I was getting in trouble. And so the judge said to me, "You better find something to do or I'm going to lock you up." He said, "Why don't you try the military?" Now, this was 1964. I was 17, and he told me, you got to do something. So where I was living with my mother, there was a Marine Corps recruiter down the street. I'm telling you, that uniform, he had his blues on and standing tall. And I said to myself, that's what I want to be. And I went to him and recruited. I couldn't go in until I was 17 and a half, so I had to wait 6 months before I even went in. So, and then my mother had to sign for me. I went down to Paris Island, good old Paris Island, stepped on those yellow footprints, and that was
the yellow footprints, right?
that was the beginning of a great story, and that's what I tell in the book. That I was trained at Paris Island. I went through infantry training school at Camp Geiger, and I finished that, and I got orders to go to Camp Lejeune to 8th Marines, 2nd Battalion 8th Marines H&S Company, with an MOS of 0341, which is 81 millimeter mortars.
So you were in a heavy weapons company then.
I was in weapons, definitely. Yeah. I learned a machine gun, M60, flamethrower, 81s,
millimeter mortars,
5 rocket launcher. So yeah, I became proficient after a while with the 81 millimeter mortar. I became a gunner. I attained the rank of corporal of Marines, and basically, I loved it. I flourished as a Marine. I got orders to Vietnam in August of 1968. After a long, different part of my life where I had been on cruises. I know you've heard of the Caribbean cruise. I went on that twice. I went to Panama. I stayed in Guantanamo Bay for 3 months with 8th Marines. We had to man the wire down there for 3 months in 1966. And basically, by the time I got my orders to go to Vietnam, I was very well trained as a leader of men. And by the time I got there in August, I actually was assigned to 3rd Battalion, 1st Marines, 1st Marine Division, H&S Company. I got the outpost at 3-1, and they said, "Forget about being a mortarman. We need somebody on the gun, M60." So they tossed me M60 and put it in my arms, and I'm like, "Oh shoot, what am I going to do with this?" But basically, I knew how to operate. It's just that, wow, man, what am I going to be doing? They put me on bridge security. We happened to be around 3 bridges that went across rice paddies in the river, the Faviate River. And there was a big bridge there and three little ones. I happened to get one of the little ones where we had a bunker on the bridge, on both sides, actually. We had bunkers so that we could mount 60s and keep an eye out for any sappers or anybody that wanted to take over the bridge. My first action was actually on one of those bridges. I don't know if you remember the Starlight scope, but it's a night scope.
Mm-hmm.
And what it was, all you could see was shadows. It didn't. You saw forms, shadows walking, and I saw that, and I couldn't believe my eyes. So I kind of rubbed my eyes, back to the side. And I went, "What?" It was a squad of goats that were walking across the patio at night. So I radioed down to the guy in the next bridge. I said, "Take a look over here and tell me what you see." He didn't waste no time. He opened up with his 60, and I opened up with mine where he was shooting. You got the traces.
Yes.
So I followed his traces, and we ate somebody up. But the enemy soldiers used to drag their bodies out of it, and that's what they did. We had nothing but blood trails at that point when we went out there in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
It was fine, but we did find blood trails, and we did protect the bridge in a way that we were supposed to. But then I became a gunner on a rat patrol vehicle, on a Jeep. And I think more than anything, that the anticipation of death was so thick with me. I think that affected me more than being in a firefight, because we were sitting ducks, riding up and down the road at night,
Mm-hmm.
with no lights. And it was really scary. I think I wrote about it a little in the book, about how my friend Pinson and I made a pact because we didn't think we were going to come back. Every night we went out, we didn't think we were coming back. And we made a pact about, if we got a serious injury where, we lost limbs or anything like that, that we would take care of each other.
That's what Marine brothers do.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do. And so after that, I came home in '69 after 13 months over there, after many actions, and basically losing friends right there with me. I came home in '69, lost. I was a lost soul, believe me. I didn't know what to do with myself. I had no idea how to change things for me. I still had homicidal thoughts, suicidal thoughts. I didn't know what to do in my mind. My mind kept going back to the war. And then I got a letter home about 2 weeks after I got home that my best friend, the guy on the other rat patrol jeep, had gotten killed. The day I landed back in Comas, continental United States, on September 19th, 1969. That devastated me because, survivor's guilt is a very strong feeling, a very strong thing in your mind, because when you bond with people, you like to think that you took care of them while you were with them. And I thought that I let him down because I wasn't there. So that affected me tremendously. So I kind of basically went to alcohol, and maybe 4 or 5 years later, I started doing drugs because I had to self-medicate myself in order to survive what I was going through. In 1983, I became born again Christian.
And that's when you found your faith, which you talk about in your book as well.
Yes, sir, definitely. In 1983, I was so coked up and so drunk that I said to my God, I said, I want to do good. I don't want to do bad anymore. I just want to do good, because that's what was in my heart, but my mind was telling me different.
Mm-hmm.
So after that day, I started reading the Gospels of Jesus Christ. And I understood then that there was a purpose for me in this life. When I started studying the gospel under pastor teachers that taught through the Greek and Hebrew language, the real Bible, I understood and I collected it because it made me a different person. I changed. I didn't even realize I was changing until I recognized it through my studies, through going to school. I went to school and became I had a bachelor's degree in human service management, which helped us provide for veterans that were in need. And it was my thoughts that put together the idea behind the shelter to give services, to make sure it was in a good location. Every service that we could think of, we would try to get in there. And we got a building from Health and Human Services, an old VA clinic that was abandoned, 9-story building in downtown Boston that was abandoned. We got it for $1. $1, because we wanted to serve homeless veterans. We made sure that that was the key to why we existed. A friend of ours from our combat support group died under a bridge from hypothermia. He was an alcoholic. We didn't even realize he was homeless. He never said anything about it. But he ended up dying on the street, and that kind of propelled us forward with this. And in the process of developing these programs, I met many heroes of Vietnam, many that were on the street or in the woods that wanted help. They came to us for help. We advertised that. And some of my best friends were homeless people. They were combat veterans, highest medals that you could get. I'm telling you, they came in with, but they couldn't survive the regular life because of them.
You recognize that you then had PTS, and I've interviewed and talked with a lot of vets who, and they have PTS, and it's called PTSD. And what I would like to do, and what many of my friends are saying, is we should drop the D and just call it post-traumatic stress, because a disorder is not something that it's not you, it's something that happened.
Yes.
It happened to you.
Yep.
And so by finding your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, that was your avenue towards finding a new life, which made you a warrior a second time.
Yes, and that's why Twice a Warrior. That's where it came from. I became a warrior for Christ also.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process, how can I say this without flapping my own wings here? Many of that learned from me how to survive through the teaching of Jesus Christ and through helping others. See, we serve, but we should still be serving because we know what it is to serve with love. Mm-hmm. And we understand life to death. We understand that process. We could have been dead any day, but we understood that there's life before it. And that's how we got by. We lived before we died.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's a process that we have to understand that we go through when we come home. That's all we think about is living and dying. But how do we live when we're home? And that's the thing that we have to teach each other.
So that you had, I guess, conversations with your wife, and you decided that you were going to write this down.
Yes, I had so many notes because I'm a note taker. I get these thoughts when I read. I read a lot. As you can see, I got books and all kinds.
Yes.
But I read a lot, and from my reading, I develop my own ideas about things. It's not plagiarizing. It's developing a certain way of doing things. And that's what I started doing, writing these things down, because they're very powerful. And they serve my Lord and Savior, and they also serve man in a way that's different than anybody else has done. Because I use the spiritual life. We're spirit beings. We were born spirit beings in the image of God. So if that's true, then we had a spiritual journey when we were in the war. When in battle, you have an out-of-body experience. You're not even there in your body. You're out here. That spirit takes over. And then, when it's over, you come back and you're like, wow, that was really something. But, it's like taking a trip and then coming back.
Mm-hmm.
It's a spiritual journey. So I try to associate that spirit that is so much a part of the warrior with the Spirit of God, because He gave us that spirit. And we have to understand that we're spiritual beings, whether we look at our flesh or not. When we die, our spirit is no longer there. That's death. And we've seen death. We know what it looks like, smells like. So there's an issue with us because we have to bring the warrior and accept that warrior part of us, because it's never going to go away. We are who we are through the grace of God. What a man thinks in his heart is who he is. We think war. We think warriors. We're warriors. So if that's the case, how come nobody told us that that's our identity now?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to build the rest of your life around the center, which is the warrior. You have to rebuild your life around that and become warriors again. So
you wrote your book, and you published it in 2015, and it's a book I think that everyone should read, especially those of us who have served in any branch of the service. It doesn't make any difference whether you're a Marine or Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard. And I would like for everybody to look at this twice a warrior, because I think we can all learn so much from your experiences and what you learned in your life.
Well, one of the things that I discovered is that a lot of us can't put into words what we experience. We can't put into words how we feel. And this book was written from my heart, the feelings that I have as a veteran a warrior with PTSD for years, that I could put it into words. And that is the blessing from God that I got, that I can put it into words that people can understand and keep it simple.
Yes, and so many have written about this subject, but you've written it in a way that no other has written it, and so that's why people really need to read this book, because you'll read something that has been written in a way that has never been written before. And so, Peace, I just am so honored to have you as a guest on the show and to have you tell your story. And I wish you well and the best of everything.
Thank you for having me, Bill. And it's so good to see you and talk to you too also.
Yes.
We'll be in touch, hopefully.
Yes, we will. And so God bless you, and God bless America, and God bless our Corps.
God bless.
Yes. Okay, I'm back after a short commercial break, and I really would like for you to spread the word about Peace Foxx's book and his story. I think it's so compelling, and it was such an honor to be able to talk to a real warrior, a real hero. And you can get the book. It's called Twice a Warrior, and it's on Amazon.com. And Peace is also on Facebook, so you can find him any place. A very good read, and something that we can all learn from, and it's written in a way that you won't find other stories written. And speaking of things that are written by authors who write in a way that has never been read before, I can ask you to do something that read 2020, A Clear Vision for America, a book that I'm really very proud of. So thank you all very much for watching the show. God bless you all. God bless America, and God bless our Corps.